All right, welcome to Odd Man Out, where this week we are going to try and convince Harrison here that he should play Terraria.
Yes, we are.
All right.
All right.
So, if you haven't heard from it, Terraria is a game that's been out since officially released 2011.
That's
it's been
a long
out
time
5
ago.
years. It was early access for a good amount of time before that too, and they've added in content and content and content. It gets a lot of comparisons to Minecraft, both with its release schedule and its play ability.
So, it's Minecraft. Why should I play this? I've already played Minecraft.
So, Terraria is a 2D action-adventure sandbox.
So it's a bad Minecraft.
No, it's not bad Minecraft.
Okay.
Yeah. It's completely separate from Minecraft. And I think that's what we should endeavor to do. No, it's going to be kind of impossible. What we should endeavor to do is not mention comparisons to Minecraft while we are describing this.
Exactly.
Because
then you'll say, why should I play it?
Then what else do I have to compare it to in my mind?
well, we're going to come up with a few basic ideas,
Okay.
premises, and things like that. So there is mining, there is crafting.
Sounds like Minecraft.
It sounds like Minecraft. Because Minecraft invented mining and crafting. All right.
He's got a
Now,
It didn't. It just did it well.
Now, the major thing that Terraria adds in is combat with spawned monsters and bosses, which is not something that Minecraft had
at the time.
at the time.
Minecraft has that, though.
They have that now. That
They've
Microsoft
added that
has
in
taken
because Terraria set the precedent.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Terraria has not just bosses, but after a certain point of defeating those bosses, you enter into what is called hard mode, where you fight even more powerful bosses and new things happen within the map that you created. So there are different biomes and zones, there are mini bosses, there are layers and layers down to explore, and it's not just go down into the caves or go down into the ravines. It's go down and you find yourself at the very bottom at a lava layer where you fight like one of the final bosses of the game. Or, you know, you find yourself in deep caves or deep hidden mushroom forests. You find hidden mines that are filled with extra stuff, statues, magic items. There's a dungeon, there's oceans on either side, and every single one of these areas is populated by their own unique enemies, unique drops, unique armors, unique weapons.
So it's a limited map Minecraft.
You can set map size. So
It could be small world, big, medium world, and big world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I've played this game for hours and hours and hours, from the point it was early access to up to now, basically. I may have dropped out a couple of updates ago. Right now, it's just been released recently for Mac and Linux. It is on most consoles that you can think of. PlayStation 4, iOS, there's a version for the PS Vita. It's got maximum coverage. You can play this game on almost anything. And it's fun anyway that you slice it. No matter how you decide to do it. I've seen people use it for pixel art. I've seen people use the mechanics within it. There's wiring and switches and traps and things like that people have used to set up some massive Rube Goldberg machines or player traps on maps and things like that. So there's trolling, there's griefing you can do.
There's trolling and griefing. Okay.
Yeah, there's local multiplayer.
Okay.
There is no... I mean, the local multiplayer is all you really get. There is no massive server structure.
So how do you troll and grief then?
Well, the local multiplayer is basically give somebody your IP address and they can join.
No.
Yeah. So...
Or they could join you through Steam if you have it on Steam.
Oh, you can do an invite through Steam.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's basically my opening spiel. James, did you...
And yeah, the game is kind of fun, man. I played 8 hours of it, not as much as him. Okay. But I did enjoy it. I played with the same people I played with Final Fantasy XIV Online, but we played this game, and we've played it for a couple of hours. It's kind of like, it's hard to not say it's not like Minecraft, because it kind of is, but it's just a different environment, different settings. It just feels different because you have a lot of more creatures that you can attack and get more gear from. You don't have to build anything if you don't want to.
I'd say it's way more... It has more depth and it feels more dense.
Mm-hmm.
But it's 2D. How is it?
Yeah.
How is it more dense in depth if it's not 3D?
The best way to put it would be that every biome, every separate part of a map that you go to is encapsulated as its own thing, in that it has its own enemies. You have its own drops, crafting materials that you can pull out of it. And these things all kind of spawn into items that take you further and further up the tech tree or give you better capability within the map.
So there's a tech tree.
There is a tech tree.
There's a tech tree.
Yeah.
So now I'm playing Civilization.
Kind of. So...
But 2D.
But Civ is kind of 2D.
No, that's moving more into Starbound, where you can actually develop a civilization. But Terraria it's not... I say it's a tech tree. What it is the levels of armor and weaponry.
Okay.
And when you get further in, magical spells, the armor specializes you for different things like tanking or DPS or magic.
So I can take off my robe and wizard hat.
Yes, you can. You can put on a robe and wizard hat if you can find it. It's a very rare drop.
Okay.
The wizard hat is. The
And you
robe
also
you
have
can buy.
vendors who sell you stuff that you can use as well.
So there's... Wait a minute.
NPCs that come help you.
Useful vendors and NPCs.
And here's the crazy thing. You build their house. The way that you get them to spawn is you build an occupiable structure for them.
Okay. That sounds...
So you can decide where they go.
That sounds a little bit better.
And some of the creatures, honestly, I think the creatures are better in this game than in Minecraft because it has Cthulhu in it. Because you can fight Cthulhu's Eye, which randomly spawns. You can also fight, and you in a hard mode, you could fight something else of Cthulhu. Then you fight a giant worm that goes through the house, and it has each own individual health balls that you fight too. So the bosses aren't like tank and spank and be done with it. They're actual boss fights where you and a group of people have to fight it.
There are strategies. Some people actually set up arenas to fight the boss in before they actually summon the boss if they can.
In Hell, there's if you go down to the Hell level, which is the very bottom, you kill enough demons, one of them will drop a doll. You build a bridge. And on that, if you build it long enough, you summon this flesh wall. And that flesh wall has 3 giant eyes and tentacles with eyeballs. And you have to kill it before it reaches the end of that hallway.
And so you really want to go at like a good length along the bottom of the map developing this bridge.
Okay, so you basically... The game provides... limitations for within the area, and you can exploit them?
Yeah.
Because you said basically you have to build a bridge to fight it on, and depending on the length of the bridge depends on the challenge.
That is a viable strategy. I will say the major key in this game is mobility. Because when you start off, you're just a normal player. You have very basic tools. You can jump very basically. You can dig very basically.
That is another thing. You do start off with basic tools. You don't have to go punch a tree for like 20 minutes until you get the wood to make an axe.
As you progress through the game, you gain the ability to double jump, fly for decent distances. You have buffs that make like thorns that let you hit enemies that hurt you, or buff your combat ability, or buff your speed. You have stuff that makes you immune to falling damage. So you can get to the point where you can literally dig a shaft straight down to hell, and then teleport back up to your base to get something and fall all the way down that shaft and take no damage.
Or you could do like my character has an umbrella and just flips.
There are masterful videos on YouTube of people using the grappling hooks that are given to you in any game. You start off with a basic grappling hook that you have to make. You have to find the materials to make, and then that gives you one of your first steps into mobility, is being able to get around and move further up shafts than just straight jumping or building platforms. And then you move into like a 4-hook vine structure that lets you actually move through more empty space within a cavern or biome or something like that.
Yeah.
In my mind, my view, and I don't think that's changed since the major editions, is mobility is the key.
So how's the learning curve on this game compared to
It's
other
actually
games?
not that hard. I picked it up 3 days ago, and I've already played 8 hours. Really not hard.
This is the kind of game where you will find yourself looking up a wiki.
Oh, so it's a wiki-based game.
Yeah, you will find yourself, like you can. There is a way in the game to discover almost every single craftable item. There's a guy that you spawns whenever you create a map. He's called the guide. He is basically the manual for the game.
Okay.
If you take him a material, he will tell you all of the things that you can craft with that material and everything that you need to craft, everything you need besides that material to craft it. He offers playable advice through a rotating list, sort of like the loading screen tips in some games. And he's basically always there. Even if, like that boss the doll that you drop is a voodoo doll for the guide. And so when you drop that doll into lava, the guide that you have dies. And it almost immediately spawns another guide for you. Random name, random appearance, but it still does the exact same thing.
Okay.
I do like the fact that abandoned dungeons in this place spawn more often than in the other one.
Yeah.
I do get a lot of abandoned like dungeon places you can explore. Like, in most games you find abandoned like stuff and you get material from it.
Mm-hmm.
This one has a lot more.
So with mobility comes exploration.
Okay.
And maps are dense. They are filled with places to explore.
So if you're getting tired of Minecraft, this is a viable alternative with
Yes.
some more depth, some more nuances that make it a little bit more complicated.
Lots of variety.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that.
Now, this is a game that you can, like most of the other kind of mining, crafting sort of games, you can lose hours in.
Okay.
And I mean just hours, like putting on some EDM music and starting to dig in one direction. And then when you hit one side of the map, you dig down and start digging the opposite direction. And you'll find things. You always will.
Well, if the opposite direction gets me away from one direction,
We should do that. Anyway,
yes.
the major thing that I would recommend is to at least give it a try. You don't have to pay very much for it these days.
That's like $5.
And it's always going on sale. It's on Steam. It's on any platform you'd care to play it. It has decent controller support. Yeah.
So $5, what, when it's on sales? What,
Yeah.
$10 normally, typically?
Typically.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what do you think?
Yeah. Would you give it a shot?
Yeah, I'd give it a shot. I mean, the Minecraft sandbox thing is wonderful, with being able to be creative and everything, and be able to do some other things with a little bit more potential depth, than just, I'm going to go build a house.
And there are massive, massive bosses that you have to prepare for.
Sounds fun, especially because I like Rogue Legacy. So, yeah, I guess I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, folks. Remember
Thank
to
you,
like,
everybody.
comment, and subscribe. And of course, we will see you next week with another Odd Man Out.